Welcome back to Rainbow Nation Radio, where we explore South Africa through American eyes. I'm Chris.
And I'm Jessica. Good to have you and welcome to the show.
Viral meltdowns and entitlement. Today we're diving into a story that's not just about one person's bad behavior on a flight, but a microcosm of larger societal issues we're all grappling with.
Oh, this sounds intriguing. What exactly are we talking about here?
Well, we're dissecting a viral incident involving an SABC employee who had a bit of a, let's call it an episode, on a flight from Cape Town to Durban. It's a tale that touches on workplace conduct, social media responsibility, and the power of alcohol to derail lives.
That's quite a cocktail of issues. Can you give us the rundown of what actually happened?
Sure thing. So, our protagonist, an SABC employee of just 4 months, started her journey in the airport lounge, where she was reportedly drinking with her partner. Now, having a pre-flight drink isn't unusual, but what happened next is where things went off the rails.
Oh no, I can already see where this is going.
Exactly. Once on board the Safair flight, she allegedly became increasingly unruly and belligerent. Reports and videos circulating on social media show her assaulting and insulting Safair employees during what's being described as a drunk tirade. But here's where it gets really interesting. She tried to use her position at the SABC as a shield.
Wow, that's a serious abuse of power. What exactly did she say?
Well, she reportedly made comments suggesting that the SABC would cover the incident in a way unfavorable to Safair and the other passengers. And then, in a moment that's become infamous, she allegedly declared, "I'm ANC, bitch!" It's like she was playing a real-life version of the "Do you know who I am?" card.
That's... Wow. It's almost comical if it weren't so problematic. But you mentioned this raises some broader issues.
Absolutely. This incident touches on several important topics. First, there's the question of whether you can be fired for conduct that happens off-duty, off-company premises, or during leave. It's a complex issue that involves labor law, personal responsibility, and company policies.
Oh, that's interesting. What does the law say about that?
Well, the general rule is that an employer doesn't have jurisdiction to discipline an employee for conduct that's not workplace-related, occurs after hours, and away from the workplace. However, there are exceptions. If the misconduct destroys or seriously damages the employer-employee relationship, or if it creates a reputational risk for the company, disciplinary action can be taken.
So in this case, the fact that she mentioned the SABC during her tirade could be a significant factor?
Exactly. By invoking the SABC's name and suggesting she could influence news coverage, she's potentially damaged the organization's reputation and public trust. That's a serious issue for a national broadcaster.
That makes sense. And I imagine social media complicates things even further?
Oh, you bet it does. Even if your social media profiles don't directly mention your employer, if there's any association that can be made, you could still face disciplinary action. It's a stark reminder of the responsibility we all have in this interconnected world where everything can be recorded and shared instantly.
That's a great point. It's like we're all brand ambassadors for our companies now, whether we intend to be or not. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, the role of alcohol in this incident and in society at large.
Ah, yes, the booze factor. You know, we often see an increase in problematic behavior during holiday periods, and alcohol is frequently the culprit. In this case, the employee's decision-making was clearly impaired by alcohol consumption that had been going on for hours.
It's a sobering reminder of how alcohol can affect our judgment and behavior. Do you think we need to have a more honest conversation about alcohol use in our society?
Absolutely. While alcohol is a legal and widely accepted part of our culture, we do need to be more open about its potential negative impacts. From violence in homes and communities to poor decision-making, like we've seen in this case, alcohol can have serious consequences.
That's true. And it's not just about individual responsibility, is it? There's also a broader cultural issue at play. That sense of entitlement some people feel due to their connections or affiliations.
You've hit the nail on the head there. This, "Do you know who I am?" mentality is a troubling attitude that seems to pop up far too often. It stems from a belief that some people are somehow above the rules that apply to everyone else. It's a mindset that can lead to corruption and abuse of power if left unchecked.
So true. It's a complex issue, isn't it? On one hand, we have individual responsibility, the choices we make about alcohol consumption, how we behave in public, what we post on social media. But on the other hand, we have these broader societal issues: drinking culture, entitlement, the power of connections.
Exactly. And I think that's why this story has resonated with so many people. It's not just about one person's bad behavior on a flight. It touches on issues that we all grapple with in our society. It's a microcosm of larger problems we face.
Well said. As we wrap up, what do you think are the key takeaways from this incident?
Well, I think there are several important lessons here. First, be mindful of your alcohol consumption, especially in public settings or when traveling. It's easy to get carried away, particularly during holiday seasons, but the consequences can be severe. Second, remember that your actions, even off-duty, can have consequences for your professional life. In today's interconnected world, the line between personal and professional is increasingly blurred.
Those are excellent points. And I'd add one more. In the age of social media, assume that anything you do in public could end up online. It's a sobering thought, but an important one to keep in mind.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about the importance of treating others with respect, regardless of their position or our perceived status. No affiliation or connection puts you above the rules or common decency. It's about basic human decency and understanding that we're all in this together.
Well said. And on that note, we should probably wrap up this episode. We hope this discussion has given our listeners some food for thought as we head into the new year. Remember, stay safe, be responsible, and treat others with respect. Whether you're on a plane, at a party, or just scrolling through social media.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And if you find yourself in a situation where you're tempted to ask, "Do you know who I am?" maybe it's time to take a step back and reconsider your actions. It's always better to be known for your kindness and respect than for a viral meltdown.
That's a great way to put it. Here's to a safe, respectful, and drama-free new year for all our listeners.
This is Chris,
And Jessica.
signing off from Rainbow Nation Radio, where we explore South Africa through American eyes. And as we sign off, let's remember that our actions matter, both on and off the clock. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment to let us know your thoughts. Your support helps us bring more important conversations to light. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll be diving into more of the issues that shape our interconnected world. Until then, stay curious and stay kind.